Okay, but it's the chordae tendineae and what entire structure? If I say identify this entire structure.
Is that the bicuspid?
Bicuspid or mitral or right or left atrioventricular.
So either one was right? If we put either one.
What about if I ask you identify this chamber right here?
That's right atrium.
Right atrium. Identify this entire structure.
That's the tricuspid.
Tricuspid valve. Which one, right or left?
It's the right.
Right. And what's another name for the right? The right atrioventricular. I'm sorry, actually there is no right tricuspid. It's just either tricuspid or right AV valve. No, and the bicuspid is this one on this side. So it's either right atrioventricular valve and left atrioventricular valve or tricuspid
I see what you're saying.
or bicuspid.
Okay.
Identify this layer that the pin is piercing. Endocardium. Identify this chamber that the pin is piercing.
Myocardium.
Myocardium. Identify this layer that the pin is
Visceral pericardium.
Visceral pericardium or epicardium. Either one is correct. What about if I say identify the structure of the pin is piercing?
Interventricular septum.
Interventricular septum. Because it's between interventricular, that lovely.
Ventricular. A ventricle.
What about if I ask you to identify this structure?
Interventricular septum.
And if I say identify this chamber?
That's the left ventricle.
Left ventricle.
Left ventricle. And if I say identify this layer?
No, it's
Endocardium. And if I say identify this structure? Bicuspid valve or left atrioventricular valve. What if I ask you to identify this structure?
Ooh, is that the aortic semilunar valve?
Aortic semilunar valve. Okay. At minimum, you know it's a semilunar. Let's say you can't remember which is which. At least put semilunar so that you get partial credit. Okay. All right. What about if I tell you to identify this structure right here?
What did you call that?
It's not on here. It's not on our list.
24? Okay. You guys know this? I think
don't think
They're called
oracles.
she told me. Yeah, she told me, but I don't think they're on the list.
And we only have a question. We only have to know the things that are listed on the
Yeah, and I double checked myself, so I shouldn't ask anything that's not.
All the other ones
What about
are-
if I ask you what's this right here?
That's the superior vena.
And what about if I say identify this blood vessel here?
Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery or vein?
Artery.
Artery, very good. This is the only one that's opposite. What if I tell you identify this structure? Pulmonary trunk, right? What about if I say identify this structure right here?
Right.
Right atrium. What about if I say identify this chamber? Left ventricle. What if I say identify this layer?
Endocardium.
Endocardium. What if I say identify this layer?
Myocardium.
Identify this blood vessel. Aortic arch. Identify this chamber.
Right ventricle.
Right ventricle. Identify this structure, the entire structure.
Tricuspid.
The chordae tendineae?
No, the tricuspid valve.
And if you get confused, just use, do you know what side of the heart this is? Right. So then you just say right atrioventricular valve. Because I can give you, at least, it's
So if I
between
said
the If you said bicuspid by mistake, I'd count it all.
Oh, right. But if I said tricuspid
You said
valve.
right AV, you say it. It's the right side, right? Because you're guessing it's the right. It's between the atrium and the ventricle, so you're saying.
What did you say about, it's the right side, what?
Because you're comparing this side
Oh,
to
okay.
this side, so it's the right side. What about these structures?
Pulmonary semilunar valve.
Pulmonary semilunar valve. What about if I say identify this structure?
Aortic valve.
Aortic semilunar valve. What if I say identify this part of the heart?
Is that the apex?
Apex. Very good. Okay, I think that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.